Christmas. How does intent and application change at quarter time? Also, when you needed it with the wet as well. So how did that change at quarter time?
Yeah, it was. Thank goodness it changed, because at quarter time it wasn't looking good for us. That's probably in the end the most pleasing part, was we were able to turn a game around, which at that point we were being convincingly beaten, not so much on the scoreboard but definitely in the contest. So it showed some maturity. We felt as a group that game demanded a certain mindset, and we delivered it for 3 quarters, the second, third and fourth quarter, as good as we have done. So to be under pressure and turn it around, that was a really good growth game for us, an area that we haven't been able to do as well as we'd have liked to up to this point.
You emphasise that, or do you feel that a group or a certain group of players led that?
Oh, that's player-led. Yeah, that's... sometimes you need a timeout, you need the quarter-time break just to come together, and but they led that. They're showing some really positive signs in that space, right across the board, from the first gamer, through to Taylor Walker. Bondi comes in, he's probably one who could hold his head up high for 4 quarters of footy. And Taylor comes in and has a chat about what he's seeing, and then they're able to adjust and get it back on our terms. So, really pleasing, really pleasing.
You delivered a pretty stern message at quarter time. You went straight to them before they went to their line coaches. How encouraging is it when you deliver that type of message that they get that and are able to applicate it?
Yeah, that's not new for us. That's not a... that didn't change our normal quarter-time break, and it was, when you say stern, it was really just a few questions on what they were seeing and how they were feeling, and they had clarity around what we weren't doing and what we needed to do. So that was the pleasing part, and then it's just about executing. And so, easier said than done sometimes, but we executed for 3 quarters. So.
Take us through the Riley Thilthorpe plan. It obviously looked like it worked pretty perfectly. Sub on a wet night, and he comes on and kicks 2 goals and looks like an absolute beast. Some people are already calling him.
Yeah, we'd be lying if we weren't a little bit concerned halfway through the 3rd quarter when it was bucketing with rain, and probably the slipperiest game you've ever seen, and we had a 200-centimetre key forward ruckman coming in. But we had plans in place, which, things going the way we had planned, it would have played out as we did. I thought Himmelberg had done a great job up to that point. I thought Elliott had played his role, and we were able to bring on a fresh key position player and challenge the opposition. So it worked out really well, but a little nervous. But at the same time, it was nice to see Riley come back and impact the game. He's still a long way to go. It's 2.5 games for him now this year, and but it was great to get him amongst the group. And I think you saw the passion and the feeling the group have had. When our guys go through a tough time, like any player does with an injury, it was nice to see the group get around him and celebrate.
What does that do for the group when you've got someone that's been on the sidelines for so long, come in back up for the season, and then you've obviously got the depth on as well on the other side of the ledger?
Yeah, it builds some momentum for you. I mean, Murray came in, a couple of weeks ago as well, and he's had it just as tough as any, as far as the time he spent out of the game, and he's hit the ground running and starting to show some really positive signs. Riley tonight, and then for Hugh Bond to come in, and we were so confident with what he would bring from an attitude, a mindset, the way he plays. He has a similar value set to Rory Sloane, where he just loves the hard game. He'll do anything he can for his teammates, and he's done that at SNFL level now for 4, 5, 6 weeks. And so for him to come in and do it at a higher level on a really, really good opposition, immediate opposition or opponent, was really pleasing.
Matthew, how much of what you plan Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday goes out the window when it starts bucketing like that?
Well, not a lot. We come in with probably a forecast of what the conditions will be, but Plan A changes to Plan B, and our guys, again, when you talk about our preparation and what we've been trying to work to, I think we've had the knowledge, so our players know what Plan B and C look like. It's just the ability to execute it and change in-game that we haven't really done that well up to this point. But tonight was one where we had a plan ready to go. We go back to round 1 where we lost to Gold Coast in the wet, and you learn so much from that game, both as players and coaches. That things you don't maybe get right in those games, you learn from and you adjust and you're ready to go when it shows itself again. And we felt like tonight, even being on the ground before the game, it hadn't rained for a while. It was very slippery. I'm sure the game's not much of a spectacle if you're watching it on TV, but we don't care about that right now, and we apologise for maybe the non-spectacle, but we'll take the 4 points.
How did you feel about insufficient intent, how that was adjudicated tonight?
Yeah, it's a tough one because the first decision gets made, and maybe that's not the right one, but then you want the game to be consistently umpired, and I thought they did that, but that's what makes it so hard. It becomes almost, we made the decision last time that it was deliberate, and now we'll go again. So there are some times where it was, even I saw a couple that went our way that I was a bit shocked by. But it's so much harder when you're down there umpiring those sort of decisions than what it is when we're sitting up in the Virgin Lounge, watching from where we see it. So it went both ways.
What was your reaction when Riley kicked that first goal? I mean, he'd already done a couple of little things and pirouette to pick up his first ball and whatnot, but what was your reaction in the box when he actually kicks that goal? And
yeah, the main thing I saw was the group get around him, and so from a coaching point of view, and when you work with these guys, to see your group bond like that and what it means, what he means to the group, and how they're for him, that was the main thing that I saw. All we wanted from Riley was for him to come in and compete, and he did that. Now, he got on the end of 2 goals, but that's what we're looking for going forward. A big guy ahead of the ball that'll compete.
Can you just talk to me about what role Rory Sloane has played since his retirement with those long-term rehab guys, Marsden and now Roll?
Yeah, he's been there every session, no matter the time. If for a period of time there we were heading interstate, Rory was working with those guys in rehab. At the moment, he's coming with us, trying to work on what he can add to our, maybe to our coaching group or add to us on a game day from the sidelines. But right throughout, Rory's been with that rehab group, just doing all the running. Even since retiring, he's made the decision that that's going to be an area he can impact in, and it's a tough a lot of people obviously haven't been in that position, but it's hard to watch your squad and your team play when you're unable to do it because of injury, and so Rory to be around them has been a real bonus.
So how do you handle Riley next? He's been out there running, so you want to put more miles in his leg, but you're not going to use him as a sub every week, surely?
No, we won't. But we have a sort of medium, longer term plan with how that works, and we felt like tonight it was the way to go. Now, until it actually happens and it's executed, we could be wrong with that. But tonight went as well as we would have hoped, and then we'll look at this week and make some decisions around: are we able to play, a lot taller ahead of the ball, and possibly play 4 talls down? It'll depend on where we're playing and so on each from week to week. But no, tonight went to script.
Is there a timeline as to when he could play from start to finish again? Or
For Riley?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something we'll look at for next week. And we'll just have to make a decision depending on how guys pull up, and we'll be under the roof. So, there's some stuff we can look at with that as well.
Do you know that you sung the song without him? He was out there doing runs on his own and didn't get a chance to sing the song. Was he a bit flat, do you reckon?
Riley?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope he gets a chance to sing it another time, but I know he's probably looking at next Friday night.
You've been saying for a long time now, we're not far away. We feel like we're not far away. And you talked during the week about the group being invested, but I guess you can't put a price on victory. So when you actually are getting reward, what does that do for the group and that motivation?
Yeah. I've mentioned it before, it builds belief, but we've still got a way to go. When you say we're not far away, well, we are at the moment. I think we might be a percentage chance of getting to the finals, but we've still got a way to go. But wins like this, again, back back the belief. Our guys begin to believe a little more, and then the key to that is not losing what's got us back to it, which is that grit. You know, we embraced the weather tonight. I thought we did that so well, especially through that second half. I think the Saints kicked the goal after half time, so there's some real positive in that. We'll take belief from it. Next week's going to be a completely different game.
Just a word on Zach Taylor. He was obviously in that sub role for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Impressed tonight. What was your take?
Yeah.
He's come out.
Yeah, we know Zach's got some real talent, some real game behind him, and it may take some time for him to get to that sort of level of AFL, but today was his first full game hit out, and we were really pleased with that. We felt it was important for him to come in and have a couple of games in that sub role, but he's going to be, I believe he's going to be a great player for us into the future. More pre-seasons under his belt, hardened his body up, a little bit more time in the gym, because he has the talent, he has the understanding of the game awareness, the ball use and execution. It's just now putting on that little bit more size that he can battle with some of the best mids in the comp.
How much size has actually Riley put on since he's
Yeah,
and I know the beard makes him look even more imposing, but
yeah, we told him to keep the beard. It does make you look stronger, doesn't it? He's done a lot of work, and he'll, when you don't play games of footy, it's amazing how when you start playing and you're running 12, 13, 14 Ks a game, the weight, it is hard to keep it on, but at the moment he's probably at his heaviest, and that'll drop away slightly as he plays the next 4 or 5 games.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.